I am so excited to bring you guys today's video because we have affordable new construction from a builder we haven't featured on the channel in quite some time. In the past, we've known them to be a luxury, customizable builder with floor plans in the 500,000s to the millions. But today, we have floor plans starting under $300,000. We are in Hudson, Florida today, checking out Meadow Oaks by MI Homes. What is going on YouTube? If you are new to the channel, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. My name is Shandon Kaya, your host for the Living in Tampa Bay channel and your trusted real estate advisor for the Tampa Bay area. I know it seems like ages since we featured an MI Homes community on the channel, but that ends today. We have two beautiful models we're gonna get to see today, one single story, one two-story, and I cannot wait to see what they look like on the inside. Now, I want to get right into it, but before we do that, I want to remind you guys that I am a licensed agent in the state of Florida. So if you have real estate goals, questions, or dreams of moving here, especially the Tampa Bay area, I would be honored to earn your business and help you make your transition here as smooth as possible. So I'm going to drop my contact information on screen so you guys can get in touch. And please never hesitate to reach out, as I'm always here to be a resource for you. And if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to go down, like, comment, and hit that subscribe button because it genuinely helps me continue to create more content like this for you guys. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get right into these home tours. All right, so we're inside the Malibu B, and of all their 15 floor plans, this is the largest of their two stories. There are some key designs that I personally loved in this floor plan, so I'm going to flip the camera, give you a POV tour, and point out those that stood out to me. Okay, so you have a foyer here. You can look up. That is your upstairs. We'll obviously get to that in a second. And then you immediately are opened up to this office, or it could be a formal dining space. But given this really large window at the front, you have some great natural lighting to get some work done. Now, as we come down the hallway, before we get into the LDK space, you have your laundry room right here to the right. This would be your 3-car garage access. And then they made sure to waste no space. They've decorated it for a dog, but you have tons of storage underneath the stairs here, which in Florida, you know, is a very common issue. So having that extra storage available is a huge plus in a home this size. And now you move into the great room. You have your kitchen beautifully decorated with contrast of brown and black. And then adjacent to your dining room and living room. And there is so much space here, maybe more than what the camera can reveal, but a very wide open floor plan concept that gives you a ton of space for your leisure. You do have two sets of sliding glass doors because this screened in covered back patio does wrap around. You can access it from both sides, which I thought was a really good touch. And then at the back of the home, if you notice, we haven't seen a bedroom yet. That is because all of them are upstairs, other than this one here, which would be perfect as an in-law suite. Even though the restroom is not an ensuite, your first guest bathroom is right here at the back of the home. You wouldn't have to be in the way when you're entertaining guests. And then if you did have some kind of in-law or guests back in this room, it is very easily accessible. And now we're gonna head upstairs. All right, at the top of the stairs here, you have your second guest bathroom, which would be great for your kids, even though it is kind of weird that it's in the middle of the hallway, right at the top of the stairs. However, it is split between the two guest bedrooms. Now, for me personally, bit of a design flaw. They've put the primary suite shared a wall with the guest bedroom here. You can see this primary suite is absolutely massive, but that headboard does share a wall with that guest bedroom, which I'm sure you know why that could be troublesome. However, you have so much floor space in this primary suite. I mean, they've decorated it beautifully. And then your ensuite bathroom, you have the split dual vanity sinks. You have this beautiful tiled shower and a huge walk-in closet, which is a common motif for MI homes. They are known to have some of the bigger closets that we've showcased on the channel. Now, as we head over, this is probably one of my favorite parts. Boom, a massive loft, a ton of natural light coming in from those windows, and just a great space for entertainment for the kids to have their own space while the adults do their thing downstairs. And then immediately to the left here, you have your final guest bedroom, but could also work as a guest suite as well, given it has this ensuite bathroom with a shower. Even though I haven't been into an MI Homes model in a long time, I knew exactly what to expect and I was not let down at all. If you give them 3,500 plus square feet of square footage, then they're going to know exactly what to do with it, and I am by no means let down. But we have another model. We still need to see a single story, so we're going to see how it compares. All right, so inside the Maui Sea, we immediately notice it's certainly not as large or grandiose as the last model. However, still over 2,200 square feet. MI Homes always does a phenomenal job of utilizing the space, and that's really what matters. So let's have a flip and walk through it. In this model, I do personally like the placement of the bedrooms just a little more. You have your two guest bedrooms and guest bathroom right at the front of the home. So it's almost like they're secluded away from the rest of the home. So you have a little bit more privacy than what we saw in the two-story model. Now, before we move to the rest of the house, to the left here, again, following the same motif, this would be your two-car garage. You have your laundry room here to connect and enter the home. And then you have another guest slash in-law suite with not an ensuite, but a full bathroom just adjacent to it. So again, secluded, but even though the ensuite isn't there, it still makes for easy access for your guests should you be inviting them over and entertaining. Now, my favorite part here is this office. Now, it's not at the front of the home, so the natural light isn't as prominent. However, you do have these dual French doors that would give you complete separation and privacy and quietness if you were to try and get some work done in here. It makes for a beautiful office space compared to the last model that was completely open. And now moving into the LDK space, you have your living room, kitchen, and dining room all adjacent to each other. And you can see the colorway in this model is a bit brighter. They went with whites, light grays, and blues opposed to the whites, dark browns, and blacks in the last model. And I want to quickly highlight or point out that this is covered and screened in. However, it is significantly smaller than the last model, but still gives you some space and access to your backyard. And again, it is screened in and covered, so you won't have to worry about doing that yourself. And lastly, the primary suite is at the back of the home here. I love the privacy here, and you have not one walk-in closet, but they've split them, into two, you could almost have a his and hers, and it looks like they're about the same size. This one might be just a bit bigger, but same motif. You have dual sinks, and then this huge, huge stand-up shower. I mean, just look at this. My arms are fully extended. I'm touching the wall, and I'm not even, there's probably still 3 feet on the other side of the camera where you could walk and still be in the shower. Pretty impressive. So the sales agent here did just notify me that Meadow Oaks has actually been here for quite a while. They're directly adjacent to the golf course and country club, which is really nice for those residents who are looking for a more laid back lifestyle. You might be in a later phase of your life where you're just looking to retire, settle down, and move a little bit slower paced. But given they are the newest phase of this development, they've made it a priority to grant their residents a fully equipped amenity center. They have a resort style pool, clubhouse, fitness center, pickleball courts, bocce ball, basketball courts. He named so many things, and that is all in one encompassing HOA fee of just $196 per month. Incredibly impressive from what we've seen from past builders. And that is not even the icing on the cake. This community actually has no CDD fee, which gives them a huge competitive advantage from other builders in the nearby area. And now that I've heard and spoke about it, I'm dying to see what this amenity center looks like. And it's just down the street. So let's drive over and have a look at it. And I'll also tell you about where we're located in the proximity to areas like Tampa and St. Petersburg. Okay, so here we are at the amenity center. It's about 1.5 miles, 2 miles down the road from the models, but behind me here are the pickleball and basketball courts, and then to this side here is the pool, and behind the camera is actually the Meadow Oaks golf course. It is a full 18-hole course with a country club, restaurant, and golf shop. So you're fully equipped with pretty much everything you need to be comfortable and enjoy your lifestyle here out in Hudson. Now you might be asking, where are we exactly? Well, this MI Homes community is actually right off of Hudson Ave. So you're in the heart of Hudson, but you're further east, more inland, so you're not in that flood zone as if you were on the west side of US 19. The good part is you're right next to both State Route 52 and 54, so you can shoot both east and west if you wanted to head over to the Veterans Expressway, which is a straight shot down into Tampa, the airport, MacDill Air Force Base, and pretty much all the hot spots or points of interest that you would need immediate access to. That those highways would essentially shorten your commute to those places. Another beautiful part about being up here in Hudson is you are surrounded by some of Florida's nicest state and local parks. You have the Weeki Wachee River literally right up the street, up in Spring Hill, and that is personally one of my favorite places to go enjoy the outdoors. You can rent paddle boards, kayaks. You can even take your boat out there, given it has direct access to the Gulf. And it's just a beautiful day on the water, and there's manatees and sea turtles and otters and all kinds of wildlife you can see out there. That's why it remains one of my favorite places, and it's so nearby to this community. Now, if you're heading the opposite way and going south, you can take US 19. It's a straight shot down into Dunedin, Clearwater, which makes Clearwater Beach and Sand Key very accessible. And if you keep continuing south, you'll hit that long string of beaches that we all know and love. Indian Rocks Beach, Reddington, Madeira, Treasure Island, St. Pete Beach, all the way down to Paso Grill. Now, if you've been watching my new construction content for a while, we've hit just about every major city and suburb within the Tampa Bay area. And looking at a map, you might think Hudson is a little bit out the way because it's a little more west than Spring Hill and Brooksville. However, it's a little more south than both of those cities. And because you are right next to all those major roadways I mentioned just earlier, it pretty much is the same commute times as both of those other places, even though they're a further bit north. I do like to talk about location. However, I don't think that is a major highlight of this community. The highlights here are the fact that you have what are typically known to be a luxury builder, that is MI Homes, kicking out a single family home product in a very affordable price point. So if you're a young family just starting out, this could be an attractive price point for you. Or if you're someone who's moving towards retirement or are retired, this lifestyle is actually catered for those who are in your same shoes. So after watching this video today, if you have more questions or you're thinking about moving into new construction, I want to give you guys a bit of value and offer you my guide to buying new construction completely free. I'm going to drop the link to it in the description of this video. All you have to do is copy and paste it into your search bar and it'll take you to the PDF, again, completely free. And if that doesn't answer all of your questions, I want to remind you that I am a licensed agent in the state of Florida. So if you have real estate goals, questions, or dreams of moving here, especially the Tampa Bay area, I would be honored to earn your business and help you make your transition here as smooth as possible. So I'm going to drop my contact information on screen so you guys can get in touch, and do not hesitate to reach out. Give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email, as I'm always here to be a resource for you. And if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to go down, like, comment, and hit that subscribe button because it genuinely helps me continue to create more content like this for you guys. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll be seeing you on the next video. Peace.